Oh my gosh. What do I do?
Hey guys, welcome to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're continuing on in our series on adaptations of Jean Cocteau's The Human Voice. Basically, we were inspired by the 2020 adaptation, the upcoming 2020 adaptation, now out, by Pedro Almodovar, to dive back into the long historical precedent of theatrical and film adaptations of The Human Voice. The Human Voice is a 1930s stage play written by Jean Cocteau of La Belle et la Bête. What's the other Cocteau movie that everybody knows? He also did Orphée. The play is about a more mature woman who is grappling with her lover, distancing himself while on the phone with her. It's a one-woman play, and it's fertile ground for, shall we say, stately actresses to put their fingerprint on. Actresses who still have all of the vast capabilities and talents that they possessed earlier in their careers, but because Hollywood and general movie making shuns an older woman, they have less parts. Previously, we've watched the 2014 version starring Sophia Loren, as well as the 2018 version starring Rosamund Pike, two icons. How could you do any better? 1967 called It Would Like to Introduce One, Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid Bergman, obviously famous for her collaborations with Hitchcock, Casablanca, Roberto Rossellini. Yeah, basically Hollywood royalty. This was a televised stage adaptation, and yeah, we're going to check it out. And if you enjoy what we do here at Pillbox Movies, watching old, obscure, and art house films, click the like button. Okay, let's watch 1967's The Human Voice, starring Ingrid Bergman. The Human Voice in a crazy font. It's going to be interesting watching this version in comparison to the other two that we've seen so far. The other two being specifically film adaptations and leaning heavily on that, with lots of assists by the cinematography and editing. This one apparently is a filmed stage adaptation, so I don't know what kind of artistic decisions will be made for this, but I'm going to bet it will be heavily reliant or beholden to its stage limitations. Actually, I'm going to say, in terms of the camera work, it's already more filmic than I would have expected it to be. The stage is definitely a stage. It's definitely a set, but I was expecting this to be more in the kind of like single take tradition of most filmed stage adaptations. And this is a very, 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 very different take already from the other two versions, like electing to show no dialogue whatsoever in the opening moments for a very protracted time, waiting until she actually picks up that phone. I'm liking it a lot, actually.
Hello?
Huh.
Yes. Oh, it's you. I'm fine.
Voiceover, is this happening in her head?
I just got in. I went to a party with... I had a marvelous time.
She's like imagining what she's going to say on the phone.
Are you?
This is a very nice, like, kind of like prop-heavy show, and also short. Wow, they're going in hard. No vanity whatsoever on Bergman's part. But that's something that's been shown in all of these adaptations, that the actresses have to be willing to strip their vanity and show their ugliness, their plainness. Maybe one too many? Oh, not poison. Not poison. Yo, she's like straight up on the verge of committing suicide in this. The other one's barely hinted at that. This one, she's already like on the way there. Multiple attempts. This is even darker than the other versions already. Wow, he gave her money. That sucks. What an asshole-ish thing to do. She just tossed her handbag.
Yes? Is that you? Yes, I'm fine. Hello? Oh, no. Oh, madam. You've got a crossed line. Would you please ring off? Hello, darling?
I can't even imagine
madam,
how...
what do you
Oh,
want
I was
me to
saying
do
how this
about
is a
it?
prop-heavy show with the phone and the cigarettes. I'm interested to see how Almodovar will approach it in the 2020
Trying
adaptation.
to call me and you keep butting
I'm
in.
under the impression
You've
that
got a crossed
he's
line.
not restricting
Please
it to a
ring
phone
off.
in any way
Please.
whatsoever, and it'll probably be more of a rambling kind of stream of consciousness narrative, which is fine. Almodovar does what Almodovar wants to do. I'm not gonna fight that, but mechanically, one of the charms, we'll say,
Hello?
of the
Yes,
original
thank
and
heavens
its
for that.
adaptations is
Yes.
it allows for the actresses
Oh, I
to
can't-
do a lot of
Oh, yeah, darling, it is very difficult
stage
to hear
business, prop work, working
I
with the
said
phone, working
I
with
can't hear
cigarettes,
you.
food, matches,
you. Yes, but
photos,
you sound very far off.
all sorts of very kind
this
of like
is terrible.
tactile
Everybody's
expressions.
on the same line. No, now there's somebody else again. No, darling, hang up and ring again. What was...
Have any of you guys
No,
watched the
I'm not
Ingrid
up to
Bergman
wines.
documentary from like 3 years ago? I watched like half of it. It was good. The more I watch these adaptations, the more I'm like, Rosamund Pike, as good as she is, did this way, way,
Yes?
way too early.
Oh, at last.
There's definitely an appeal of seeing like a truly mature woman wearing her years on the stage in this play, in this story. And I don't know. As much as I like Rosamund Pike as an actress, her version struck more like generic jilted lover.
Are you at home? I went to bed straight away. I knew I couldn't sleep, so I took a sleeping pill. No, only one. Oh, yes, just one pill.
It definitely didn't
Oh, I did.
go for
Until 9
the
o'clock this morning.
naturalistic approach for
I
the
had
phone
my
acting in
headache,
this.
but I put myself together and...
I don't think, especially for a stage adaptation, they would care very much for the audience believing there's somebody else on the other side of the line that she's like listening to and responding to. How
all the
dull.
letters in the yellow box, and I also... What, dear? No, very well. But honestly, I'm very brave. A stiff upper lip. No, I'm not smoking. No. I only smoked 3 cigarettes today.
Watching this after
It's true.
watching Water Lilies, I'm like,
3.
you know,
Honestly,
different
yeah.
themes are kind of like forefronting and coming to the surface. I'm thinking a lot more about how this play and this movie is about like the facade, the presentation of femininity that women need to present for men at all ages, even at even as an elderly
must
woman with
overwork.
a young lover, the need to
No, I'm
present
here.
without blemishes is there.
I didn't think I could be so strong. Your fault. No, but you're not to blame yourself in the least bit. No, darling. On the contrary. No, but we... No.
Like how terrible, like showing a woman needing to constantly like fluff up a man and apologize to him and groom him and aggrandize him after he has broken up with her.
We always
Awful.
agreed to be absolutely honest with each other. It wouldn't have been very honest if you had left without letting me know until the last minute. Yes, that would have been cruel.
Cruel.
This way I had time to get used to the idea and to understand.
Breakups are hard. Breakups are hard in any circumstance.
Do you think I'm making it up? No, don't you know me better than that? No, I haven't got it in me. No, not at all. Not in the least. I am absolutely calm. You would hear it in my voice anyway. I said you would hear it in my voice. My
Gotta
voice
love
doesn't
Bergman.
sound as if I was trying to hide something, does it? No, you can live your whole life waiting for a disaster.
I think this is definitely
Expecting
the
it.
strongest
It can still break you when it comes.
woman that I've seen of the 3 adaptations so far, which is definitely making it more
It wasn't
tragic.
my fault.
The kind of like
Yes,
breakdown
it
she's
is.
having behind the scenes.
Do you remember that Sunday at Windsor? But that first Sunday, darling, yes. Well, it was I who wanted to come. I who said that I didn't care about anything. He kept pricking up his ears and listening. he made me think that he'd heard you come. And then...
She's heard you come.
Then he'd look around at me. He'd soon forget me.
Don't forget me.
No, it isn't.
I beg.
It isn't really so difficult. Can't you say he belonged to a friend? Oh, I can't keep the dog. It's impossible.
C'est impossible.
No, yes, of course, darling. Yes, hold on, I'll take a look.
Pike's performance was very raw and very sensualized. I think it would have been a cool approach if she was an older actress. I just think, like, because she's younger than any other kind of interpreter of this role, it came off as her being a young woman sexualizing herself for the appeal of a man on the other line. And it tells just like a little bit of a different story than an older woman trying to make herself like sexually appealing and being rejected for it.
You'll burn them.
Burn them.
Listen, I'm going to ask you something silly. No, look. If you do burn the letters that you wrote me, would you please keep the ashes and put them in that little cigarette box that...
Yeah, that might be asking
that
too
I
much.
gave you.
Yo, who is this dude? Like, is it John Hamm on the other side of this line?
I'm quite brave, you know. No, I'm all right. There. Oh, that's over. It's over now. Yes. Yes.
Time for some needless theorizing, but
But I would like to keep those ashes.
There is like a reading of this where if we want to interpret it as autobiographical or make autobiographical leaps of imagination, the framework of, because Cocteau was a homosexual, there is a certain framework where you can understand this relationship of like the jilted elder lover.
I said, is this better?
But
Oh, that's strange because I can hear
perhaps
you
there's
so
a
perfectly, just as if you were in the same
there's an
room.
in to it, or like
Hello?
kind of like a reason. It provides a reasonable facsimile for the experience of like an older homosexual man with his younger lover, and that's like a dynamic that's kind of been transmuted or transformed into this heterosexual dynamic.
Oh, yes, I hate that. It's like being dead. You can hear, but you can't make yourself heard. Yes.
Yeah, this is very, 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 very much in comparison to the other two performances. This is not trying to win him back in any way. This is like a cri de coeur.
Yes, your phone always sounds the same.
The entire breadth of this conversation is like a lamentation on her part.
Whenever I listen to you, I can see you, you know. And then you're right.
I'm interested to know why they... Nobody's going to care about this, but I'm interested to know if they like recorded these in like single takes and decided not to do it again, because...
Yes, and you have, in your left hand, you have the receiver.
Bergman is stumbling on some of her lines in a way that might feel like...
You're laughing. Oh, my...
improvisational.
You see, I have eyes instead of ears.
Or affected, but it kind of sounds like to me that she's going up on some of her lines and just remembering them mid-sentence.
Oh, my darling, yes, I promise. I promise.
It's a subtle difference, but it is like, without the attempt to like try and seduce him back, this is presenting a different face from the other versions. The other versions
I found myself face to face with an old woman. Yes, an old woman.
Are a woman on the line with a man that she's trying to win back, and in this one,
oh, thank you.
Maybe I'm just stating the obvious, but this is a woman who's on the line with a man trying to present herself as not having a breakdown because she's on the verge of a complete and utter breakdown, and if she doesn't...
That's very kind. A remarkable face. There's nothing worse. What?
Maintain
No,
that artifice, she will kill herself. This definitely feels like more dire than the other versions.
I'm glad you're tactless and you love me. Because if you didn't love me and you were tactful, the telephone could become a terrifying weapon.
You see,
noiseless
it sounds
and
like she's
leaving
gone
no
up in her
trace.
lens just a little bit.
Me wicked, no. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Oh, darling.
Oh, she's in
Where
Norman
are
Sonata?
you? Where are you?
I'll check that out.
Hello?
Director of this is Todd Kotcheff. He's the director of First Blood. And Weekend at Bernie's. What? 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 Oh, that's a funny connection. He played a small role in Barney's version, which also starred Rosamund Pike.
You out of your mind?
No, I'm bent over backwards in love.
In her most beautiful role. Oh my god, Rosamund Pike as a brunette. Jesus. What is with these, like, desk tables from this era just, like, not being able
Hello,
to
operator.
stay level ever?
Would you please... Oh, it's engaged all the time. But I've been trying it for hours, so please would...
You're gonna get a woman on the line. I'm just gonna say, to get out of the way, her pink nightgown is just so ugly.
Oh, hello,
can't get
darling.
over
Oh, those
this.
stupid people cut us off, and I... Yes, I was speaking to him
Perhaps
a
it's
moment ago.
meant to be intentional, like her trying to purposely dress
Not in?
in a way that's meant to seem younger.
Oh, he isn't coming back tonight.
Oh, fuck!
Hmm? Yes. Yes, of course.
I just watched this version with Ingrid Bergman, and I'm like,
Yes, I remember now.
whoever this guy is, he is not worth it. You're Ingrid Bergman. You can do better.
Of course, right you are. Yes.
Like, was...
No, thank you. I'm fine, Henry.
Did you have, like, an affair with Barack Obama or something?
Well, I'm not offended. Good night, Henry. Oh. Oh.
No.
Oh.
In this adaptation, I'm Henry. I am just the dude that gets hung up on. While these other two characters are living a monumental melodrama. Your eyes are
Hello?
wild right now, Ingrid. I'm loving it. Those are some crazy eyes.
No, I was waiting for you to call back. I was engaged. Oh, yes, yes, the telephone rang and I answered, but no one was there. I don't know.
Surprised this guy keeps calling her back. He seems like he's devoting a lot of attention to a woman he has
Yes, I understand.
spurned quite casually.
You. Yes, I know.
Maybe he just likes to hear her
I believe
in
you,
a state
darling.
of fits, tortured.
You don't have to convince me. It isn't that. It's just that I have lied to you.
Or maybe like a regular,
Yes,
nice
just now.
or person.
Yes, over the
He's
phone.
afraid she might commit
For the last
suicide.
half hour, I've been lying to you. And sitting down and getting up and walking up and down, I felt I was going mad. See, and so I put a coat on and I was going to get down and get a taxi and drive up in front of your house, in front of your windows, to wait. Ah, to wait. I don't know for what.
This is such an interesting, like, I don't know.
Yes, I know.
It's interesting to try and parse out what the appeal is of this work from like an audience standpoint and from an actor standpoint. Like, definitely from an actor standpoint, you can understand why you'd want to produce this. It's an opportunity for an actor who doesn't usually have as many opportunities to really delve in deep to a character with extreme emotions and expressions of those emotions. From an audience point of view, I don't know. I feel like it would be an easier sell, definitely as a stage play. Like, you go and see like a grand dame of the theater acting up a melodramatic storm, and there's like a certain kind of electricity and energy to that that is perhaps lost in film or TV adaptations, because there's definitely this dynamic at play with this, that it's a tension between like glamour and ugliness, because you're not going to draw an audience unless you're presenting like a great actress in this role. That is part of the glamour of it. But in perhaps in a Schadenfreude kind of way, or there's also a desire to see them like struck down or like kind of like beaten up in this, not in a huge way, but in like a way like a Tennessee Williams a Tennessee Williams protagonist is.
Because all I do is to make you suffer, to make you miserable.
But if you like go a little bit too far, a little bit too over the top with that, it can be like a little bit like arresting for an audience to see like an actress that they love, whom they love and adore and really admire as an idol, demean and debase themselves on stage in such a monumental way. And so like that's kind of why like the like stage adaptations, perhaps in my imagination, are more successful, because there's still like an electricity and a tension maintained within that. You're seeing it live and you're seeing it happening in real time, and so seeing that de-evolution, there's a momentum and electricity to that. Seeing in a film adaptation,
You have never given me anything but happiness.
it doesn't carry that same sort of
Oh,
momentum.
my love, I tell you that is
so
not true at all.
it can be a little
Because
bit
I knew.
harrowing to watch.
Yes, I knew right from the beginning. I knew.
Because I don't know,
I
like
expected
honestly,
what would happen.
as just a text in and of
young.
itself, I don't know if it's like the most
got
sophisticated
everything to do with-
character study ever.
No, my darling, I'm not a romantic. Most women think that they are going to spend their life with the man they love, and it's a shock to them when it comes to an end. But I knew. I'd even seen her.
I don't know. It's
Well,
kind of
I
hard to
didn't tell
say.
you, but
There's like two
I'd even seen
combating
her. Well, her-
there's
it's
combating
all in that.
engines, I
Oh,
guess
don't
I'd say,
make me out better than I am.
in wanting to present this story. Like you could go with like the full throttle drama
hear
and
music.
carry the momentum as strong as possible, and that's definitely represented in the
I said, I can hear music.
Sophia Loren version. And then there's like the desire to like take
Oh.
your time and slow
Henry.
down, and
Henry's record player.
perhaps offer it up in a kind of like
He's got
picturesque
the bad habit
character
since you're not
study,
living at home.
observational route, which I'm guessing is what Almodovar is
Yes,
going
do
to
that.
do with the text, because honestly,
Henry
for the
to
past
turn it
20
off.
years, I've barely ever seen Almodovar wish to go for momentum or full throttle or any of that.
Yes, I have lots of courage. No! Listen, wait!
I hate the symbolism of the cracked ceilings. I just hate that shit. That's like 70s horror shit.
Yes, because we are, after all, connected by the telephone. And then I dozed off and I
It's an
dreamt all
interesting
kinds of
2020
things.
take, 2021 take.
But it became a different,
This is what Gen
and
Zers are
dangerous
like.
kind of ring.
Just like attached to the
The ring
phone
of
all
the
the
neck.
time.
that strangles you. And then I was at the bottom of the sea. Yes.
Yeah, this is not a girl who
Very
thinks
much
she's
like
going to
the
get
rooms
her
in
guy
Whitmore
back.
Street, and dying at the thought of your being dead.
John Hamm, you gotta stop doing this
Then
to
when
these
you
women.
came, so my dream is not so foolish. When you
Ugh.
cut the connection, you snapped the air tube that I'm holding on to for dear life.
Kind of like for real me.
What is unbearable is the second night, yesterday, and the third, tonight, in a few minutes, and tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and days
And tomorrow
and
and
days
tomorrow
doing
creeps
what?
forth in this
Oh, my
petty
God.
pace, from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying
What's the use of going to sleep?
nothing.
Even if I can go to sleep, after going to sleep, there's waking up and dreaming.
Dude,
getting
that just
up,
came out.
Bathing, eating,
I wasn't even thinking about it.
going where shall I go?
Where shall I go?
But I've never had anything to live for but you. No, I
Who
tell you,
is
I
this
don't need anyone.
dude?
No, you're interrupting a private... No, madam, we are not trying to be interesting. All we want is for you to get off the line.
What was that shadow
But
back
please.
there?
Well,
Was
if you
that
think
like
we
the
are so
camera crane?
ridiculous- Why are you wasting your time listening instead of hanging up? Oh, my love.
This is definitely like, you know...
No, she rang off. She rang off right after she made that nasty remark.
This is definitely how all of your
you're
boyfriend's
upset.
exes sound like
Oh, but
on the
don't
line.
let a stupid woman like that upset
They all
you.
sound like
Well,
Ingrid
she
Bergman
doesn't know you, and she
and
thinks you're like
I
a
knew
Rosamund
it was
Pike
a dream, and when I
and-
realized that it's true, that I
no,
am alone.
and Sophia Loren.
Oh, darling, it's simpler than that. People hate being dropped, and I have gradually dropped everybody. Because I didn't want to lose a single minute of ours together. No, darling. No, you must be fair. No, darling, don't worry. One doesn't try to commit suicide twice.
What a
Try
line.
to sleep. No, I couldn't buy
I
a
would
gun.
love it if
And you
Almodovar
see me
chose
going
to
into a
represent
shop
this
buying a gun.
in like a
Where
more
would I
melodramatic
find the strength to
fashion.
invent a story, my poor darling.
Like he's very stately these days, but if he just like had a little bit of oomph to it, just make it just a little cray cray, I'd be all for that.
Oh, why are you cross?
She's like actually
yes,
like
you're speaking
sweating.
quite angrily to me.
She's like going
No,
full
but all I
force in
meant to
this.
say was that if you were lying to me out of kindness, and I knew it, I would only love you all the more. Darling. Hello? Hello?
Delete your apps, girl.
God, make him call me again. God, make him call me again. God, make him.
She goes all the way.
Hello.
Bryan
Yes,
Cranston,
yes,
who?
we were. Listen, I was just trying to explain that if you had been lying to me out of kindness and I noticed it, I would only be all the fonder of you. I have the wire around my neck now. Your voice is around my neck. Yes, I know we must, but I shall never have the courage.
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm like around a
Why
crush
did
too.
that which shall sit here? I couldn't hang up. No, I couldn't ever. Come on, darling. If you're going to be in Le Touquet tomorrow night, would you then please not? That is, please don't go to the same hotel where we used to go.
Ugh, you genuinely don't.
In a sort of vague way that hurts less. You understand? Thank you. I love you. Yes. We're there. Well, until... I was going to say until tomorrow. Silly habits. I doubt it. Well, you never know. It's better. Ever so
Ingrid,
better.
bring in that Swedish desperation.
Be quick. Hang up. Quick. Break off.
Porque precor,
you.
precor.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love
Wow. I definitely get the sense that David Lynch would have loved this version. When I actually like shut up and like watched it a little bit, it's a really different version from the other two so far. I feel like the other two, while going for like essentially the same beats and like wanting to hit some of the same notes, in their own ways presented a perhaps a softer, more, I don't know how to say it, more quotidian. Not that it's a bad thing, but there was a certain quality of dullness or lack of urgency in the other versions that created a different feeling around them. Not to say that they're bad, they're just like not as heightened and melodramatic as this version is. I feel like those presented one bad day out of a woman's prolonged bad life, and this version is like the last bad day out of a woman's life. I don't think it's my favorite performance out of them, all of them so far, but I think it's, in my opinion, the best. There's lots of things that Laurent and Pike brought to the table. Ingrid Bergman had 15 minutes to do it. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise for me, to be honest. This is, I think, my least favorite adaptation, but I think it's the best. And with that kind of thrilling paradoxical logic, I can't wait to see the Almodovar version. So we'll wait to see when that comes out and take a look then. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this, click the like button and subscribe if you want to see more old, obscure, and art house movies. Dual advice, call your loved ones and talk to them and connect, and also get off your phone. And until next time, keep watching good movies.